So Todd has finally decided to buy a car. A new car. Well, not new, but new to him.
This is our second long-term ownership car. We are covering the Porsche Cayenne that I bought with my wife to replace our Acadia. We're also covering this car. This is a 2013 Scion FRS, so 2 years old, has about 37,000 miles on it when I bought it, and I had a very specific budget of 20 grand. I got this car for just under 20 grand.
And I understand that. From a budget standpoint, when you can't spend more on a car, you've got to find what's in your budget. And that's what we do on the car debate all the time.
We drive a lot of things, of course. We drive a lot of things with a lot of power. We've driven a lot of expensive stuff. You could be asking, and rightly so, why did I get an FRS? A lot of other things I looked at, a lot of other things I considered, but with a $20,000 budget, the thing I really wanted, a Lotus Elise, was just not possible. All the Elises that I really wanted to get into were running about 30 grand, which is way out of anything I could even talk about stretching for.
I still maintain we could have had a bake sale or, set up a lemonade stand or done something to make 9 grand to make up that difference, because I would have loved to see him in a Lotus Elise.
One of the good pieces of news is even though it has almost 40,000 miles on it, it is Toyota certified, so that means I have an additional 1-year warranty.
I'm going to use this opportunity to decide what cars he could have gotten or should have gotten, actually.
Now, I look very seriously at Miatas, I look very seriously at S2000s. The truth is, I didn't really want a convertible, and if I was going to go a little bit less hardcore than the Elise, I really wanted a hardtop and some back seats if it was possible.
He also liked the Hyundai Genesis Coupe. He liked the original one, but I think he could have gotten that 2-liter turbo. That's the same kind of recipe as this car.
The Genesis is a good car, but it's not as agile as this. It's not as just purely fun to drive, though it is significantly faster.
How about a 944 turbo? Those are cool cars. And you can get a nice one for 10 to 12 grand, but the rest of that, up to your 20 grand budget, will be taken up in maintenance alone. So maybe not the best choice, but that car is sorted.
All the cars I've loved driving the most on this show share common traits, and the FRS has most of them. They're all rear-wheel drive, stick shift with really good balance.
The front-wheel drive cars that we have now are so good, and they're so fun. You cannot discount them.
We drive plenty of things with a lot of power. This, of course, is not one of them.
You've got to beat the snot out of this car just to get up a freaking mountain road.
I spend more time in this car floorboarded than anything I've ever owned. But the more things I drive, the more I just thoroughly enjoy corners and hanging on to speed and cars that can really maintain the speed in a corner and talk to you as a driver.
Even with the gigantic gaping lack of power, you're still faster than most everybody else on the road.
Now, of course, this car is discussed as kind of a base model, a beginning of a tuning discussion. Now, we generally on the show have avoided tuning. Obviously, you can tune any car any way you like, but because this one has so many products and you can change the number one thing that is the complaint about it, which is, hey, I wish it was faster, we are going to tune this car. There's going to be a few little things I want to do to it. I'm hoping to do a couple things you probably haven't seen much coverage on. I'm going to put full winter tires on it in the winter. I am going to put full summer tires on it. You're going to see that video coming up. We're going to do all these little changes, but essentially, this is a stock car.
He has done nothing to this car, and so that's why I say, if he does something like forced induction, something like that, I think it'll transform this car.
Now, I did take the 12-volt socket plug out of the glove box and shove it into the floorboard where the sound tube comes in. Why on earth this car has a sound tube is beyond me. There's plenty of road noise and engine noise as it is. Let's not add. And as we've talked about on our podcast, this car is already becoming kind of an ambassador for the show. A lot of people have heard about the FRS or BRZ, but we're surprised how many have actually never driven one. So when we get the opportunity, we're letting people get behind the wheel of this car and just enjoy it for what it is.
I feel like there's a glaring thing that I'm missing. A glaring choice. The Mazda Speed 3 is turbocharged. It was a hoot. It was a riot. I bet you could find one of those for 20 grand-ish. By now, a Focus ST could be 20 grand. And you know what is certainly within that price range is a Fiesta ST. That car was a lot of fun, and I said I liked the dynamics of that car better than the FRS or the BRZ. And you know what? I'm still coming back to that.
And I looked at the Fiesta ST too. I mean, all the cars we love, I looked at. I didn't want front-wheel drive. I didn't want all-wheel drive like the new WRX. I wanted rear-wheel drive sports car. I went with this. This is a car I feel is definitely worth 20 grand. I mean, some of the FRS we've driven have been 30,000 or so, and it's kind of hard to stomach that. At 20 grand, I think they make a lot of sense. So obviously, I like the FRS enough, I bought one. And you know what? I'm already extremely happy